Hi people, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do something a little bit different this time from my usual vlog style compilation of how the week's been going videos. I want to do something a little bit more explanatory about bullet journaling. I recently made a blog post, linked in the description, about bullet journaling and how I got into the practice, what mistakes I've made along the way, what are some of the lessons I've learned from the practice, and it really inspired me to be able to make a visual accompaniment for that post. All of the steps that I said I take and all of the spreads I include and the supplies that I use. So I hope this video reaches you well. I hope you're all doing all right. This is a very weird time. So let's get into the video. So here we are, first bullet journal voiceover. I'm working with a Lemome dot grid hardcover black notebook, and I will show you the brand. Yeah, right there it is. That's that Lemome. I have been using Lemome notebooks for a little bit of a while, and I love the paper quality, and we're already on pens. These are the pens that I will be using today. These are just some Tombos. I can list everything in the description. A lot of just some basic supplies right here. Basic supplies. Awesome. We're feeling awesome. So for this month, I wanted to go even more minimal than what I was doing last month. I did a citrus theme based off of the theme that Dutch Dots on Instagram and on YouTube was doing, a beautiful, beautiful lemon and orange theme. And this month I wanted to do something with a little bit of green in it because I like thinking about June as a green month, and wanted to do some line art for the first time in a little bit of a while. I'm not an artist by any means, so I am extremely proud of how this turned out, honestly. This was a 10-minute sketch and outline kind of thing going on, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks pretty good to me, so I'm proud. And I am going to be using this Staedtler 0.1 marker throughout most of the spreads, if not all. I found it to be a very useful tool for me. I thought I would like the Pigment Micron one a little bit more, but I feel like it's in my guts, it tells me that it's slightly thicker, and I love a thin line. So my tactic here was to make a Dutch door based off of Shada Campbell's spread. I will also link her in the description. But I bent the page, and that ruined the art. So if you're gonna do a Dutch door, just cut it. Do not bend the page to give yourself a guideline. There's a dot grid anyway. What was I thinking? Next, we are doing a goals page. Much again like Shada Campbell's spreads this year. I did a artistic cover page that covered a flap that showed my goals for June. And then I would do a tiny little calendar in the bottom corner so that I know, what days of the week are what whenever I'm doing weekly planning. Pretty simple, not much to add on this one. I like to keep it blank, and I will fill out my goals probably later today as you're seeing this. Next, we are working on a calendar spread of sorts. I decided to go back to Ryder Carroll's original vertical calendar because I made calendar grids with boxes fully drawn out for a long time, and I never need that much space. So I just thought one page, one line, it'll be fine. On the other side, you'll see a finance tracker. I like to put down all of the bills and payments for the month, and then I like to mark down the amount, when they're due, and if I've paid them. This title ended up a lot more janky than I expected it to, and I have already gone back and kind of tried to spruce it up a little bit as best as I can. But honestly, it's just me. It's my finance page. No one ever sees that page, so I'm not stressed. Next, we have gratitude. I like to do maybe 2 or 3 lines of gratitude journaling a day in my bullet journal. I do personal journaling elsewhere, so I don't feel like I'm limited by the 2 to 3 lines. I like to put a little something here just in case I don't do a dedicated gratitude practice in the morning. Now we're looking at mass tracker pages. Usually I do a habit tracker, always. But on the second page, the one I'm running on right now, I really wanted to do more tracking, just kind of like keeping up to date on how my days are going based off of what I'm doing either the day before or the day of. So, the days that I probably stick to my habits more, and the days that the weather is nicer, the days that I'm getting more sleep and drinking more water are probably going to be the days that line up with me having a better mood. So I just wanted to test this out. I'm kind of treating June as a month of observation of myself, and I'm going to be picking up The Power of Habit, which has been on my bookshelf for a very long time, and then I will inevitably bite the bullet on Atomic Habits and blaze through that one because I've heard it's fantastic, and I'm really excited to read that book. But I just really wanted to make a mass tracker spread so that I could see all of the different acts that feed into me having a better day. I decided to draw tiny little expressions and tiny little drawings of the weather for mood and weather. Saw it somewhere else, thought it was super cute. I can be cute too, let's just let me have that, thanks. And then on sleep and water, I did water in terms of ounces up to 100, lowest is 0, and then sleep hours up to 10. I haven't gotten 10 hours of sleep since like the summer of 2009 or something, so I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Coming back to the habits page, this is me filling in habits based off of a note card that I keep. I usually write a note card throughout the month. Ooh, we made a mistake, and this is where the correction tape comes in, and it just look at that. Good as new. We love it. We love to see it. So I'm writing my habits in based off of a note card that I keep, that I write down what I want to move into my next month's spreads and what I want to get rid of if I'm not using it enough or I'm not seeing that it's actually helpful at all. I then go back in with a marker to highlight just a little bit of accent, trying to be cute. And then I will look through my habits, see which ones I really want to focus on for the month, and highlight those just so that I'm like really mentally aware of those every single time I turn to my habit tracker every day, and I'm making the time for those habits to be fulfilled. Next and lastly, we will get to my weekly spread where I just keep track of tasks throughout the week, and I'm going to be using the same spread that I used for the last couple of weeks of May. I found it to be very helpful, very simple, and it's not too cluttered for me. With my bullet journal, if something is tracked in one place, I try not to write it out again in another place. I just like to write out what month it is, what week of the month that it is, and then I'm going back to see what those boxes are for. Previously, I had those boxes at the bottom left corner for cleaning and sleep because I was doing a weekly sleep tracker, just doing like a bar chart every single week. But this month, since I put sleep on that mass tracker page, I do not need it anymore. So the entire time that I was drawing this and dividing out the last weekend spread so that it has space for separate Saturday and separate Sunday, the entire time that I was doing this, I was trying to figure out what to put in that bottom box, and I cut it out, but there's 30 seconds of footage of me sitting there staring at that bottom box. Eventually, I figured it out. I decided to be bold and artistic in my realm and draw out the same Monstera leaves that I put on my cover page, just shove them right in that box. And then I decided, you know what? Need some color on here. This is very, very minimal. I did have a color palette, quote unquote, going for the month, so I wanted to throw in some of those colors again. I really have been loving this gray. It's going to be linked in the description. It's a Tombow, and I've been using it in almost all of my spreads. I think the only one I haven't used it in is actually this past month because it was citrus themed, orange and yellow. I'm also doing a lovely sandy tan color, a pastel pink, and a kind of like dark, more greenish teal. And I don't know, I'm really drawn to these more natural and faded colors lately. Usually I am a all shades of purple kind of person. Anyone who knew me in about, I don't know, 7th grade would just definitely agree with that one, but wanted to change things up as time goes on. We can't all be like our 7th grade selves, thank God. So now I'm going back and adding color in because it just was a little bit bland, and I also like to leave time for the black pens that I'm working with to fully dry so that when I go with color over them, I don't like lose the integrity of the color, I don't smudge anything, I don't ruin the pens at all. This time I just wanted to do a little bit less structure, even though that feels a little bit juxtaposed towards the spreads that I'm choosing to use, because those feel very minimal, straightforward, very blunt. I didn't want to have too much thought when it came to adding in the color. I didn't want to think too much about making a structured artistic drawing. I just wanted to put some colors on a page, and I am better at straight lines than I am at perfect circles. So here we go with squares and rectangles, something I hold very close to my heart, apparently. And that's kind of the entire spread for June. I've already gone back and added some more color and some more accents here and there, but it's very simple. I don't like to do too much because I have other systems to take care of everything else that I'm not going to put in here. Thanks for sticking around. And with that, I guess that's kind of all I have to say. I wanted to thank you for getting to this point in the video. If you're really interested in this kind of stuff, I have no problem. In fact, I gravitate towards producing this kind of content and really enjoy speaking more on the matter. I don't know, maybe doing like regular updates, either a couple times a month or once a month or something, of, you know, how my planning routine is going for me and the ways that I'm changing it to make it better for me, or the ways that I am being more lax about it for the times, wherever I am in life. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Ooh, she did that. She did that. What I learned was that if I don't just dive right in, good enough? Are we okay with that? Is that? Wow. What we're working with here. Yes, that's a bag of rice, an actual tripod, the camera, a yoga block, 2 old bullet journals just to stick with the theme, you know what I mean? And then the journal. I have a question.